Hi, Henk Akkermans here, Supply Network Dynamics Chapter 11 Part 2, ERP and the Millennium Bug. ERP, Enterprise Requirements Planning, it's a big deal. I think a few 100,000 companies around the world must be running their key operational processes driven by ERP systems. ERP is really a suite of packages of software components wrapped around the core of MRP, which we discussed in Chapter 5, so Materials Requirement Planning, basically originally a goods flow control system. But it has been complemented by a host of other modules, financial ones, so if you know when to produce what, where, you also know how much it costs, inventory models, accounting models, HR models, the people that you need to produce this, they have salaries and they have sicknesses, etc. The sales modules, how much you think you will sell, engineering models, what is it that you're actually producing, and all these things have been interconnected into one single package in an ERP package, and it was a huge progress in the 90s because when I grew up as an IT consultant, as an ERP consultant, there was still this whole patchwork of hundreds of bespoke, of company-specific IT systems, many of them old, legacy, nobody really knew what they were doing. And there was not enough expertise within companies to maintain all those IT systems. So ERPs were standard packages developed by companies like SAP, Oracle, or BAN, as we will see in this case. And they would maintain the software for you, only you had to customize this package, something costing several hundreds of thousands of dollars or euros. So it's not really a little nice Christmas package. You had to customize the package to the specific needs of your business, which often meant that you had to change some elements of your business. So this was a huge trend in the 90s, and on top of this trend of getting ERP system, there was a special rush to the millennium, because there was what they called the Y2K bug, the millennium bug. Up to today, it's still not clear if the world really averted a catastrophe or this was just the biggest business scam ever. The notion was that most of the old computers had 2 digits for year numbers. So 76, 89, 99 was okay, but 00 is smaller than 99. And then since in the old days computer memory was scarce and expensive, very few programs would run with 4 digits, especially if those programs were developed in the 1970s or 80s, so legacy software. And there was a big fear that when the millennium date would be crossed, many of the software would simply lose it. And that might lead to all sorts of problems. So it was important that software would become millennium-proof before that time. Now, in many cases, some kind of Armageddon was predicted as a result of this. And here you had some fine backup computers that were expected to be needed for the day. And here you have the Y2K bugs. So a lot of fun was also made out of it. And one thing is certain, 2 things are certain. It's certain that very few companies had really big problems. It's also certain that the IT industry had a marvelous time around this period in implementing lots of new software, especially ERP software. So we have a millennium bug and we have ERP, which integrates lots of business processes which before that time were not integrated. And then you try to squeeze that into a very short time frame, you give it a limited budget, and you have management that actually assumes that this is mainly a technical issue and not so much an organizational issue. And then you had the gaffer crisis, yes.